If you're overwhelmed with managing your finances because of all of the numbers, spreadsheets, and financial trackers, I got you because I still built my first ₱1,000,000 even if I once believed mahina ako sa math, mahina ako when it comes to crunching numbers. Here are 3 things that you can do right now to overcome that. First off, I can tell you right now that you don't need another spreadsheet with complicated formulas that just overwhelm you again. What you need right now is to simplify how you manage your finances if you want to build sustainable money habits. As a money mindset coach, I've worked with several clients who felt so much anxiety looking at numbers, who felt so much shame and embarrassment facing their finances, and those who also believe that they're just slow learners when it comes to math. And yet, they've learned to overcome these limiting beliefs around money by simplifying their finances and come out of it feeling empowered and confident to make wise money decisions. So let me walk you through the 3-step process that I guide my clients with to overcome this overwhelm with numbers so that they could finally be consistent with their budgets and have the confidence to fund their next life milestones. First step, understand the root cause of your financial overwhelm. Because here's the thing, you're overwhelmed with numbers not because of the spreadsheets and the formulas, but because it is rooted in a deep-seated limiting belief that was conditioned in you growing up. Because the misconception is I need to be so good at math, I need to be so good at crunching numbers in order to manage my finances better, in order to achieve my version of financial freedom, but that is not true. I realized that real financial freedom isn't just about crunching the numbers because it's only 10% money management and it's actually 90% all about your mindset around money. That means the beliefs you hold about money have a much bigger impact than any spreadsheet ever could. If you subconsciously believe that I'm just bad at handling money, I'm just slow when it comes to numbers, I can't be trusted with my credit card, you'll subconsciously self-sabotage and put yourself in that same cycle. If you subconsciously believe that it's selfish to prioritize myself, that dream is too big for me, that dream is too impossible for me, then you'll subconsciously settle for small rewards and wonder, sana naman napunta yung pera ko. This is what I've learned through my experience and having been trained in neuro-linguistic programming techniques that gave me the ability to understand the language and science of the mind and how that translates to instilling money habits that finally stick. Let me share from my personal experience the root cause of my financial overwhelm that bled into my habits. For me, ever since elementary, high school, I've always felt so stupid when it comes to math subjects. I would always freeze up during recitations, during math. It was always my lowest score when it comes to my report card, and I would cry a lot in my math homeworks because I just felt so stupid. Why can't I get it? And so I created this identity within myself that I'm just bad at numbers. And so when I grew up, when I started earning my own money, I associated that identity to managing my finances. And so what ended up happening was I ended up overcompensating with trying so many complicated spreadsheets, complicated budgeting apps in order for me to fill that weakness. Because I remember when I was in high school, I would spend so much time studying for math because I knew it was my weakness. Even in college, I chose the course with the least amount of math subjects, okay? But then those math subjects really consumed the most of my time because I knew that, okay, this is my weakness, so I need to spend more time with this, studying for this exam, and not realizing that growing up, when I became an adult, that's what I did also. Now, I need to spend so much time doing my finances. I need to track every single expense. I need to make it hard for me. I need to put so much effort in doing it in order to be successful with my finances, because that's how I conditioned my mind that I need to exert extra effort for things that I'm not good at, for things that are my weakness. Not realizing that those complicated spreadsheet and financial trackers only put me in the cycle of feeling so deprived, restricted, and not really enjoying the money that I have. Or the other spectrum was that I just ended up shopping, impulsively buying in order to compensate for that feeling that I don't want to sacrifice, I don't want to feel restricted. And so that became my cycle. That was really one of the root causes of what was overwhelming me when it comes to my finances. Because after focusing on the 90% of my mindset around money, then it became easier to do the 10%, which is crunching the numbers, managing my finances, simplifying how I track and stick to my budgets. This is the holistic process and approach that I guide my clients with that really transformed the relationship with money from feeling so overwhelmed and anxious dealing with numbers to feeling so capable, confident, and empowered to make wise money decisions, even if they once believed that math, numbers were their weaknesses. If this resonated with you, make sure you watch my free training on how I help you identify the deeper root cause of your financial anxiety, your financial overwhelm, so that you could finally simplify how you manage your finances, stick to your budgets, and feel empowered to fund those next major life milestones for yourself. Check the link in my bio to access that free training right away, and I will deliver it straight to your inbox. Moving on to the second step, which is audit your finances according to your life stage, goals, and income. The biggest mistake that you could make that is consuming so much of your time is that you track your expenses in a spreadsheet, in a cute budgeting app maybe, but then now what? So what? What about these numbers tell you? Like, what's gonna be your next step? What are you gonna do differently? How will you better align your cash flow next month, in the next 6 to 12 months? Because usually what's overwhelming you is that you do all of this tracking, but then it's not really empowering you. It's not really exciting you to do what's next. Rather, it just feels like a chore that, oh, I need to track my expenses. I need to log these receipts. I need to input how much I spent today. Like, it becomes this dreadful thing. And when it's dreadful, you don't stick to it. And then when it's overwhelming you, you end up avoiding doing it altogether. So that's why what I notice is that what empowered me and what has empowered my clients is to make sure that you audit your finances according to the life goals and life stage that you are looking forward to, and making sure that you allocate your expenses, savings, investments according to your income. Because most of the time, what's overwhelming you is that, wait, this person is doing it this way. This person is saving 50% of their income. This person is already setting aside this much to their investments, already has a property that they're paying for, they're already saving up for their wedding and all of these things, and you're gonna be overwhelmed wanting to do 10,000 things within your spreadsheet, within the income that you currently have. What ends up happening is that you just go back and forth like, am I doing the right thing? Constantly second guessing if you're doing the right thing, or maybe you're scared of doing anything, and so you just end up paralyzed with all of these expenses right in front of you, but you don't know what to do with this data. This is why I help my clients with personalized financial audits, where I personally look through your finances, look through your cash flow, look through your expenses, look through like what is your current life stage right now, how do we align your income to your life goals in the next 6 to 12 months, so that you're empowered to stick to your budget. You are confident that, okay, every step that I'm doing in my finances is leading me to a step closer to the life that I truly want for myself. I'm not just tracking my expenses for the sake of it, but not knowing what to do with it, but I actually know that how I'm auditing my finances is benefiting me in terms of I get to balance enjoying the fruits of my labor while knowing that I'm saving for the goals for my future self. When I give my feedback to my clients, it's not just merely like, what do you need to cut down? What do you need to remove? What do you need to deprive yourself of? None of that. It's more of how can we tailor fit your expenses, savings, investments, income towards your path to your version of financial freedom. Because when you see your finances that way, you become excited to stick to it. You don't become overwhelmed with all of these numbers because you know what they mean. You know what they are for. And I get that because, again, going back to my experience, like I was easily overwhelmed with numbers. Like I would freeze up when I just see numbers back in my corporate job. I would be so anxious. And so when I learned to simplify my finances in a way that is tailored to my goals and dreams, I became excited to stick to it. And I knew that there's a clear purpose behind why I'm spending this way, what I'm saving up for, why I decide to invest in so and so. Let me share this message from my client recently that just made my heart so happy, because she shared like, I used to be like that someone that was so anxious and I would panic a lot, to now feeling like I'm actually in control and I feel calm doing my finances even though I'm clearing my debts because of my feedback, because of the financial system that I guided her with, which only takes 15 minutes twice a month to do. And I just love getting this feedback so much from my clients because I know how it feels like to feel so overwhelmed with facing your finances with all of these numbers, and for them to go back to me with the feedback that, okay, I finally feel so in control and so calm in looking at these numbers and managing my finances, because I know it's tailored to allowing me to become a step closer to the life that I want for myself. And that's what your finances should be for. So if you also want those personalized financial audits and my expert feedback in creating a 15-minute financial system that is tailored to your life goals, your life stage, and unique income situation, then I would love to coach you next inside my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is where my clients learn how to multiply one income stream by building sustainable money habits and systems for funding their next major life milestones. In the next 60 days, you'll finally eliminate that financial overwhelm, that stressful cycle of DIYing your finances, because you have my structured guidance, my step-by-step guidance, and expert feedback to audit your finances. I will personally look at your cash flow, how you allocate everything, so that you could finally build a sustainable financial roadmap and system for funding your next life milestones. So whether you're a Filipino corporate professional, freelancer, or small business owner, you are welcome to join my coaching program. So I do have 2 coaching packages that you could choose from. I have a group coaching package and a one-on-one coaching package. So it completely depends on your needs, your preferences, your budget. So just check the link in the bio on how you can join my coaching program so that you could see all of the inclusions and also client success stories, so that you could be inspired that, hey, if they were overwhelmed with their finances and came out of it more confident, calmer, and more in control of their finances, then so can I. So just visit the link in the bio or visit coachingwithnick.com, and I hope to see you inside my program. Moving on to the last and third step, which is learn how to calm your nervous system when dealing with numbers. So here's the thing. If you are not calmly looking at your finances, you're going to do everything in your power to make excuses, not do it, or just avoid it altogether, or just do something else, or overcomplicate things. Tell me how I know, because that was me also, and that's also what I've seen with my clients, is that when they approach their finances having that thinking already that this is overwhelming, that I'm too slow for this, that mahina ako when it comes to numbers, like they immediately shut down and procrastinate or make excuses to avoid their debts, avoid their finances. Like I remember I have this client who had been avoiding her debts, and it's because every time she just opens her bank account or she even opens a spreadsheet, she would panic already. She would have so much fear and overwhelm. And so what happens is that, let me just put that away. Let me just set that aside and do that another day. And then another day comes in, and then another day, and it's like 5 months already and nothing has changed, right? So that's why I teach my clients on how can they calm down their nervous system so that they can have better clarity and confidence and empowerment when facing their finances. Because if they don't learn these tools to feel calmer around their finances, they're gonna continue in the same cycle of impulsive buying, avoiding their finances, overgiving to others, and so on and so on, these toxic spending patterns, right? So how do you create that calming environment when you're about to deal with your finances? It's so important that you create that safe space for yourself to be open about whatever comes up, to really understand that, hey, I'm experiencing guilt, I'm experiencing shame, experiencing overwhelm, and I acknowledge that, because most of the time we just want to shut that down, we just want to set that aside, we just want to numb that, we just want to avoid that. And most of the time, the more we avoid it, the bigger it becomes eventually. And so what I love hearing about my clients is that recently, like my clients said that what truly sets my coaching apart is the compassionate approach. And that made me like it made my heart melt a lot, because I feel like that's what's missing when it comes to dealing with our finances, is that we lose compassion. We make it so masculine, like you just need to be strict with yourself, you need to restrict yourself, you need to deprive yourself, you need to delay instant gratification. It brings so much shame and guilt towards the person, instead of what would happen if you do the other side of the coin, which is how can you be more compassionate with yourself. And that's really how I guide my clients, is creating that environment where they could feel safe to open about their past mistakes, to open up about what they're regretful of, to really open up about their money problems, because only then will you create a calming environment for you to face what's next. Only when you get to acknowledge these things that you are shameful of will you allow yourself to be compassionate within yourself. Let me tell you the exact words from my client after going through the process in my coaching program. She shared, "I would have never imagined myself that I'd understand numbers this way, let alone be organized in managing a financial audit system. Nick helped me every step of the way. She met me where I was, no matter how slow my comprehension could be. What truly sets her apart is her compassionate approach. Through her exercises, my nervous system is way calmer, and when I am calm, I am able to think clearly, and when I think clearly, I'm able to do my tasks in a better disposition. I learned to see numbers in a new way, and my impulsive spending has been replaced with mindful, disciplined decision making." That's really the power of having that safe space for you to talk about your struggles with money, to face and audit your finances in a compassionate way, because that's what's gonna allow you to move away from those spending habits that you want to change. Because what I realize is that overwhelm is a natural part of the process, like especially if you're learning something new, if you're trying to change something. So it's not about pushing aside that overwhelm, like I can't be overwhelmed. It's like moving through that overwhelm. It's like allowing yourself to acknowledge it so that you can release it. Like that's why I have literally a dedicated module in my program on how to overcome your overwhelm with numbers, so that my clients can have these tools to calm down their nervous system. And when they are calm, they're able to face their finances and therefore take concrete steps with clearing their debts, overcoming their impulsive spending, making wise money decisions for themselves, and ultimately building that trust that even though mahina ako sa numbers, I can still manage my finances with confidence. Because I still believe that to this day, I'm not the best with formulas on a spreadsheet. I am not an expert with all kinds of crunching numbers, but what I am definitely an expert at is simplifying my finances to get to where I want to be, to fund the life goals that I truly want for myself. And that's the proof that I want to share with you today, that if I did it, if my clients have done it, you can do it as well. So if this approach resonated with you in eliminating that overwhelm with your finances so that you could finally build sustainable money habits and systems in 60 days, then I would love to coach you next. Just check the link in my bio for all of the details on how I could coach you, how you can join my coaching program next. You can see all of the rates and inclusions down below, or visit my website coachingwithnick.com. And then you can watch this video for more tips on how I've overcome my shopping addiction and impulsive spending habits that led me to achieving my first ₱1 billion. Check that out, and I will see you there.